Good evening, folks. Welcome to the 31st anniversary of the Young Writers Workshop, also known as The Boot. The workshop was originally created to provide youth with opportunity to speak their truth through creative writing, to find their voice, and to build confidence in expressing themselves. We continue to honor that by bringing their voices to this stage. Tonight we are partnering with our case management team to bring more of our community's voices to the stage. We are glad for each and every one of you who has been able to join us as we gather here tonight to listen. We are not here to judge. We are not here to critique. We are not here to censor. We are here to listen openly, with open minds, to accept what we hear as what our performers need to say and want to say. This means we might hear uncomfortable things. Let us sit in that discomfort and continue to listen. This means we might hear things that we disagree with. Let us be okay with that and continue to listen. This means that we might hear things that make us feel something. Let us express that sincerely. Laugh joyously, ooh enthusiastically, sigh as it strikes you, smile when struck by amusement, and perhaps cry from sympathy. If one of our performers seems to be showing nervousness and you want to non-verbally support, simply take your hands together and rub them together like you're creating the soft patter of rain. If you particularly agree with something that, and you feel empowered by something that one of the performers says, feel free to, in nonverbal, acclaim. And of course, silence your cell phones and any other computing technology or other electronic technology that might distract from the experience. We have several youth and several staff performing tonight. We are a village, we are a community, and we honor the voices of our youths and our elders. Now, on with the show. My name is Mikhail Tatrin. I tend to write about things that we don't want to talk about. Strong feelings like fear, depression, suicide. Tonight, I'm talking about fear. To swim the shark. At first thought, I could not, no matter how sleek, sensual, sinuous. That muscle trunk rippling quick, then flashing by, a permanent grin. Always with that look, hungry. That body, I will be hurt, I will be ripped apart, alive, struggle fearful, uselessly, towards safe harbor, half-handed, reaching the surface too far, above and this weighty regret, dragging bodily down. Perhaps, but I should not, even so inviting, basking languidly, floating over such depths, spasm too quickly, oh, fierce. Like slick sandpaper lightning, would leave teased, aching, skin-ripped such power it would overwhelm me. Screaming bubbles, nothing, deeper blue, deepest black. Sinking in consequence, looking back up at that taut belly, swiveling my last ecstatic stare. Even if very tempting, that. As we proceed tonight through our program, we will have performers coming up one after the other in a consistent flow. There will be no interruption by an MC to introduce. Each performer will introduce themselves. And with that, I turn the mic over.
Can you all hear me? Okay, thank you. Good evening. My name is Lisa Gaston. I am one of the educators here at Southwest Education Center. I've been here for over 20 years, and so the boot is part of who I am, and this is what we do. So as a disclaimer, I do want to point out that whatever opinions or things that are said through our poets' words do not necessarily reflect the values of Southwest Youth and Family Services. So I just want to put that out. But thank you all for being here and supporting our poets and performers. My first poem is called City Gardens. It is inspired by a trip to Kubota Gardens earlier this summer. It's located in South Seattle. Relief and satisfying the great need to quench her thirst and help the flowers grow. Native plants, fallen leaves, pine cones and weeds. In the distance, cars and buses zoom by with seeds ready to birth from her womb. The sun's warm rays peeking through white clouds. On native Duwamish land, Chief South vowed that sacred earth does not belong to man, but we belong to earth until clothed in shroud. Let's make it last beyond our short lifespan. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Kit Wennerland. I did not come prepared to introduce myself or this poem, but I am a student at Young Writers Workshop, aka The Boot. I have already graduated high school, but I thought it would be fun, and it has been. So anyway, here's a silly little poem I wrote called Fishy. Fishies, the fishies, little fishies, and I. Fishies, my fishies, many fishies, small size. Fishies, swim fishies, baby fishies, little guys. Fishies, the fishies, little fishies, and I.
Hey guys. Okay. My name is Amanda and I work here at Southwest. I've been here since 2019 and my first poem is called Every Day. Getting up every morning, t-shirts and sweats, a nonchalant attitude is armor. Every day is a battle against life. Gearing up to play the same role, everyone's always in character. My feet pointing towards the door, yet I stay and nod again and again. I keep the scene going, thinking how did I even land this part? But when the script shifts and the battle lets up, it feels like daylight breaking through the battle storm. A powerful moment, a deep connection. I feel alive. Embracing for the fight simmers down, as if a rainbow appears while the spark of life catches me for a few moments. But then again, the next day starts. The play begins, and I gear up for the battle once again.
Excuse me, this is the interpreter for the poets. Please, audience, also give a pause so I can complete the interpretation. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Brian Hayes and I am a student at Southwest Education Center. I am a 40-year senior. Today I am going to do a poem. It is I Am From poem. I hope you like it. I am from hell on earth. I'm from a town that warranted a government bailout over 50 years ago. I am from lamenting laid-off laborers looking to live life lively with loathness to lose. I am from pissed-off parents perpetrating perpetual poverty, pretending to push pride and prosperity while professing principled pressure. I am from pimps, pushers, and prostitutes. I am from pompous, pretentious police practicing peddling people's papas profusely. I am from depressing, demoralizing, debilitating distinctions that define the goddamn ghetto. I am from hell on earth. I am from Detroit, Michigan. And despite all that, I am from love. And I am here. Hello 206, meet 313. My next piece is an acrostic poem. It is called Gentrification. This is an old piece that I had written, but when Mikhail asked me to do this, I didn't go back and do any editing or anything like that, so it is what it is. So with that, gentrification. G, growing up in a community filled with strife. E, evoking God's name to relieve the pain. N, neither mom nor dad understands the plight. T, toward my internal suffocation. R, removing us from our only solace. I, investment for the wealthy. F, finding urban gold at the price of our families. I, innocent ghetto child. C, convinced that our worth equals worthlessness. A, auctioned by corporate greed that fulfills their needs. T, taken to the outermost sanctions of my mind. I, innocent ghetto child. O, ousted in the community by corporate greed. N, never to enter the space that we used to love and live again. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Natalie. This poem is called Tokyo Disaster, and it captures the chaos and sensory overload of visiting a city that's beautiful but overwhelming. And it follows someone who comes to Tokyo seeking excitement but finds himself lost both in the busy streets and in their own emotions. Spicy sushi, kicking me in the throat, a million signs I couldn't read. Lanterns swinging like restless boats, the city's pulse sinking with my need. I sat on a stool, chills in my spine, lights switching in my bones, chopsticks I fumbled to align, goosebumps on my skin, seaweed, spam, and rice cling in plastic thrones. Spicy, sweet, and razor sharp, my tongue ignites a reckless flame. Wasabi tears stream down in arcs. Sorry, really stage mistake.
Got this.
My face a storm that wears my shame. Suddenly, dust swallows the street. The skies turn steel, the air feels tight. My phone at 1%, the darkness greets, spinning in circles into the night. Lost in alleys that twist like smoke, crowds surging past, and I can't keep my pace. The city's heartbeat, it's a constant choke, and I'm a ghost in its frantic embrace. I came for thrill, I left with woe. This trip to Tokyo, I paid the cost.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I have a nice voice, huh? Hi, everybody. My name is Ramon Jimenez. I am a former teacher at Southwest Youth and Family, and still an educator. What else am I? Public servant. But most of all, I am a writer. I'm a poet, and I'm also a storyteller. I'm going to read 2 poems, one right now and then one later. But both poems are about immigration, and they're about the generational differences between immigrants. My parents are from Mexico, Mexico, Jalisco, Viva Jalisco. And they came here in the 70s. I was born here, but they were born over there. And in my head, there's a constant struggle. There's a constant debate of what am I supposed to be? Where do I fit? Where do I belong? Which side of this imaginary line am I supposed to pertain to? So I composed a poem. I call it 4 Generations. And it explores a family through the males, but through 4 generations. So here we go. 4 generations. Number 1, Don Rafa. This is my house in the countryside. Simple living, but hard existence. What I grow, my children and I eat. When my crops fail, our stomachs grumble. We live here, on this little town, far from the city, but always close to God. My father fought and died for us to have this tiny little plot, yet we still sweat on someone else's to make ends meet. None of my kids go to school, except one who's studying to be a priest. I work hard and I drink hard, in good times and bad. Number 2, Rafael. I am one of 8, raised in that small, miserable hell. I've worked since the day I learned to walk, feeding chickens and pigs, planting, picking. I go to church on Sunday, like my old man, but I too barely read and write. But I work hard, back against the sun. My cousins have all gone north, and when I get old enough, north I will go too. It will be dangerous. I will run into human traffickers and racists. I will be spit on and told to go home, made to work the worst jobs imaginable. But I will give my kids a better life. I will send money back to my old man. All of this weight will rest on my shoulders. Number 3, Ralph. My name's Ralph. My name's Ralph. I was born in that miserable town with Dad. Went to school, played with friends, worked a job. We ate what we had to. Dad was the first to jump the fence, and then Mom jumped, and then I jumped too. My name used to be Rafael, but now I'm just Ralph. I can speak 2 languages, I can understand 2 cultures, but I belong in neither, and I am not allowed to leave. The country I once called home will forever be a mystery in my mind. 4, Ralphie. My name's Ralphie. Son of Ralph, Rafael. I was born north, unlike Buelito, who used to live so south. I am told that I belong to this nation, though my parents are from another. Grandpa speaks to me in a tongue I do not understand. Father cries to music that I feel is weird, strange, embarrassing. They make me eat foods that right now I do not like, but as an adult, I will crave and regret ever refusing. I am the new, and they are the old. I seek to change and find myself because I know I'm lost. They don't believe in the self. For them, the self never existed. I am divided in these 2 roads, tradition, transformation. Thank you.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I low-key didn't take my mic test seriously, so, hi. My name is Hiop, I'm 13 years old, and this is my self-portrait on the essence of me. I might have not got that part right, but I'm so sorry, man. That's just me. There are a few things on here that are really important to me, and some are just pieces of me that I really like to share. I'll start with a really important part of me that I like to share that my beautiful teacher, Miss April, got me into. It is modeling. It is a job that I think is not taken seriously nowadays, but it's something that a lot of women also get traumatized into. And so I think that some people have a really hard time modeling, and so I take that job really seriously, and I think that a lot of people need to actually watch documentaries on it because it's really cool. But I have a favorite model. Her name is Adriana Lima. She is super awesome sauce. I love her. We're not going to get into that today, though. I will get into my other favorite people on this earth. Two beautiful icons in science, Bill Nye, the science guy, and Neil deGrasse Tyson. Exactly, yup. Anyways, Bill Nye, super amazing, Seattle icon, all around Seattle. He's awesome with his informational videos that we all used to watch as kids, but we have Neil deGrasse Tyson. Some of y'all might not know him, but he was an amazing man in Superman. Oh well. But he's super cool. He did a lot of science on our space and our time. So he's someone I really look up to in the science industry. But I will get into some more serious things now. Something that my community affects me about is my safety. And so I'm gonna talk about that for a little bit, and I think I have time to. My community is something that I adore, but they also taught me a lot of life lessons about my security and safety. I know now, even though I was younger, I used to play out in the streets, used to have fun with all my friends, but now I know that I can't past a certain time, because I'll know, nah, it's too dangerous for me to go out now, or it's too dark, I can't go. And that's something that I think a lot of women nowadays, or little kids, get affected by. Weirdos. Anyways, one of my greatest qualities is being able to talk, because I don't really get affected by a lot of these things. So hey guys. But yeah, I'm able to speak with my chest. I'm able to project my voice. Hi! Anyways. Yeah. But I want to talk about someone who's really important to me now, and that is my godbrother. He's right there, kind of small, but we love him. He's a really important person to me in my life. I might cry, but you know what? It's okay. He's really important to me in my life, even though he passed away in 2018 on my birthday. But he's super cool. He showed me a lot of things when I was younger, when he was around, which I really appreciate him for that. He also was the first person who took me to California to get ice cream at a really cool ice cream shop that had jellyfish on the ceiling. And that will get me to my next topic, jellyfish. I love jellyfish. I grew up on them. I think they're super cool, super chill animals, and I really like them. But speaking about my godbrother and jellyfish, he also introduced me to something else. My beautiful, beautiful Sesame Street character, Cookie Monster. I think I have a lot of qualities like Cookie Monster. I love cookies. We're both awesome sauce. And we both like blue. Blue's not my favorite color, by the way, but we'll just say it is. Another serious topic though, the color of my skin. Speaking back on my safety and the way that my community makes me feel, and talking about how I'm able to speak out loud, that's a lot of things that get shut down due to my skin tone or due to me being female. And I think that people need to speak up for what they think is right and for injustice, because if you're gonna accept that, I'm gonna let that be you, man. But I won't. And I love the color of my skin. I love what I stand up
God damn. I love what I stand up for, and I love that I'm able to be up here and speak to all of you by using my voice. And I hope that all of you can speak up with your voice as well in the future or now and get over the things that you are afraid of. I might cry, but you know, oh well. But yeah, stand up for yourself, speak up, no matter black, white, all people, all shapes, sizes, colors, you know, speak up. And if you're not able to, get someone who can. But yeah. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Have a great day.
Hi, my name is Libna, and this is my abstract self-portrait. These pictures give you a little insight of who I am. We're gonna start off with this one. It's these flowers that I made out of paper from books. I love tuning into my creative side and seeing what I can do when I put my mind to something. I've also made like glitter roses and things of that sort. Yeah. This is a picture of my brother, me, and my dad on his wedding day. That day was really important to me because it was the start of a new journey that I'm blessed to be a part of, as I did move in with him and his wife. I love her, but she's not on here because I don't have any pictures of her. But this is a picture of the outside of my job. I work at the stadium, and it was a Friday, so it was firework night. My job is probably one of the only things on here that doesn't really have a big impact on who I am, but having a job has made me pick up on certain traits like responsibility, consistency, and productivity. However you say that word. This is a picture you can't really see. It's kind of dark. I was at Family Fun Center with a friend. I like doing stuff like that. Going to hikes, round one, just spending time with my friends and going outdoors. This is Milo and Sosa. I had to get rid of Sosa because of my living situation at that moment, but yeah, I had to give Milo to my mom as well. But I got a new cat. His name is Star. This is my mom. She's my role model. Even though we've had like the rockiest relationship, but she's taught me a lot and the biggest part of who I am today. Being open-minded is probably one of my greatest qualities. I'm a good listener. My family and my well-being matters the most to me. And what I want people to remember is who I was as a person. So yeah, I know it was like kind of messy, but I hope you guys enjoyed learning about it.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Joy. I'm a 17-year-old future college student. And this is my abstract self-portrait. So the first picture on that's my left or my right? Right, okay. The first picture on my right is a photograph of my favorite podcast, which has had one of the biggest impacts on me because it is the reason why I chose to go into forensic science. And that's why it's up here, because it helped me through like figuring out what I wanted to be my career. Sorry. The pictures to the other side of that are of me and my siblings, and obviously they're up here because they're my family. But on another note, they're probably the most impactful people because they do so much for me, and they usually tell me like when I'm wrong when other people won't. So that is why they're so impactful for me. I think my greatest quality that I have is that I stay calm under the most stressful situations, and that is what this picture is depicting. And below that picture is a picture of a chameleon because as a kid I moved around a lot and didn't have like the best like home life, and that forced me to adapt to my community wherever I went, and I usually did, whether that be good or bad. And to the right again is a photograph of two people talking because although two people are talking, I'm great at listening to others speak. I'm not the best at speaking, clearly. So that is why that's there. And the one thing I want anyone to remember me by is how I smell. I smell good right now. You can come smell me. Okay, that's it.
Okay, hi guys, my name is Ashley and I'm 21 years old. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. This is my abstract self-portrait. It gives you a little rundown about me and my life. I'll start off with the pictures. This is me, obviously. This is my son. He's about to turn 2 years old. He's really important to me. Sorry. I almost passed during childbirth, so he's just like a big part of my life. And yeah, I'm so sorry, y'all. I realized after that, your life can end really quick, and it's best to just like live it up and be super outgoing, step out of your comfort zone, which is why I started traveling. This is me on a plane. This is me at a music festival. I also hit the gym. I like going out to eat. I also love going to like views and just like staring at the Space Needle and stuff. Yeah, I'm a mom, a sister, and a daughter at home, so I play many roles in my household. I'm outgoing and patient, and I think those are great qualities of mine. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. My family and my health is what matters most in my life. And I matter because I'm human. I think everything matters. But yeah, thank you guys for listening.
these lights are bright. Okay, well, hello everybody. How are we doing tonight? Yes. Okay. Hi, I'm Mia Bella Good, and this is the essence of me. Everything that I've used to create this is kind of an introspective reflection of who I am as a person and what makes me me. I am a compilation of everything that I've ever loved. The music that I listen to, the movies that I watch, the people that are important to me and who I meet on the street, and everything that I've learned. The love that I have for each of these things makes me human, and it allows me to have understanding for things around me. It allows me to display empathy, compassion, kindness, and that's why I matter. As a person, as a friend, as a sister, as a daughter, as the baby of the family, the last one left in a broken home, silence where there used to be a lot of screams. As the man of the house, even long before there was no man in my home, I was duty to kill spiders, put up Christmas lights, cut hedges. As a member in a new community that is bright and diverse and together, so unknown to me, so unlike the sugar-coated Christian hate called into a stone, I've become so fond of throwing from my glass house. Sorry, y'all. And using the product of the backlash to poke at my wrist and called it the blood of Christ, and refusing to eat anything but communion crackers, as a young, gay, biracial girl, convinced that I was the exception of my community and not only the token. Only used to make sure that the canyon had a brown face to show. I've tried to pick spiritual fruit in the desert, but I've found more love, more joy, more peace, more kindness, more gentleness, more self-control, and more goodness in the rain. With that being said, I'm able to now thank you for allowing me to tell you who I am now and who I will be in the future. Thank you so much.
Haboragani, Swahili, or what's happening, what's the news? The news of today is we're gonna find out all about Miss D. I have painted the essence of me, no detail of me, because you're getting the essence. Miss D talks a lot, so she's going to briefly give you a glimpse into the essence of her. I start out by saying, I'm a daughter, the daughter of the Most High Yah, created and given, laid out my path, and I thank Him for that. Traveling down here to the earthly lands, I became the princess of my earthly father, Arthur Lee Weems. He helped create the essence of me. I walk around every day feeling like a princess. And I'll be doggone if I'm gonna get emotional up here. But it's happening. So I'm the daughter, the princess of Arthur Lee Williams. I am the oldest daughter of Clyde Williams. My mother loved being a Williams. She carried it twice. I'm the oldest girl of 7 children, so I have 6 siblings. Family, starting with my creator, down to my earthly family, is the essence of me. My community, my extended family, each and every one of you, as I look over here to my left, at the babies of our community, my babies. The essence of me is love. What I want to be remembered about Deborah, Miss D, is that she loved. She came to be a reflection of real love, extending love not only in the anchor family, but to my extended family, my community. My community allows for me to become molded. If we travel down through a rear view mirror of the essence of Miss D, we'll find those 6, 7 decades of moments and monumental things that happen, mostly in the community. That inner circle was loved and sheltered. I lived a sheltered life, being a princess. You know, the king don't let you get out there and experience anything. Till you go to college, Joy. That's when you get to see. So as I grew, by age of 10, the community started sneaking in. That's when I learned sheltered from was some of the uglies that's in our communities. One of the babies spoke about safety. At 10, I can remember our little black and white television. The newsman announcing Martin Luther King had been shot and killed. I remember hearing my father, seeing my mother, my uncles, my neighbors. Oh, all the adults were so upset. They were shaking, they were mad. I witnessed protests. That was the outside, the community outside beginning to mold the essence of me. My mother told me around that time, she talked to me about my skin. She told me that the brown that I show is not me. It's the soul of me, the love of me. My community said, you're black and be proud. James Brown said, say it loud. So with my fist waving in the air, like I did care, I walked around with my 2 Afro puffs and embraced the chocolate brown that is the essence of me. Layers and layers go by. 68 years, did I tell you that? Those 6 decades, I wore rose-colored glasses. You don't get to love and love as wide as I do without those babies. Ridiculed, picked at, and teased to be the optimistic that is the essence of me. I can remember somewhere in my 40s, my mother saying, baby, you can wear your rose-colored glasses. There's no sense in walking around looking at the ugly, feeling the ugly, having to live the ugly. If you could put those glasses on and you can find something positive, wear them. So I walk around, 68 years old, wearing my my rose-colored glasses, and proud to do so. So when I look out here and I see all your beautiful rosy faces, I'm just smiling, happy. I do want to mention when I do talk about my abstract, this picture is a young Miss D. That's a high school days. You see that afro? Yeah, it wasn't always in a puff. Sometimes it was in a big crown. This handsome young man right here is my brother. He has helped create the essence of me. He's less than a year older than me. We catch each other every year for about 20 days. We're twins. Back then, you could tell he's a Mr. Cool guy. He didn't like having a twin that had the essence of me. Loud and rough, rocking her Afro puffs. He was like, can't you be quiet? Can you sit down? What? We were at a pep rally, bro. Anyway, I love this picture because it shows not only the fact that we were so close in age, we're in high school together, but the unity. He's now moved to Washington. I grew up in New Jersey. He's moved to Washington, so he's here with me now. And he lets me say we're twins. without a fight. The other big pieces that make up the essence of me are books and poets like Gil Scott. Back when I was talking a little bit about some of the ugly of the community, the civil rights time, Gil Scott he created a beautiful poem talking about the revolution won't be televised. I've lived long enough. The revolution's being televised, y'all. The revolution is live. The other most impactful person through Not the Family was Miss Maya Angelou. I was about 10, 12 years old, always was a reader. Mom passed that down. I read I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I'd invite all my young community members, pick up a book. You might find something that touch and match your soul. From the moment I read the first page of that book, I was seen. She gave voice. The essence of me was molded by a woman that never met me. Miss Maya Angelou. So books, music, family, culture, love. That's the essence of me. Thank you.
Hello again. How's it going?
All right, brother. All right.
It's been a minute. I'm gonna read two more poems, and then this next one will continue this like intergenerational conversation. I never got to meet my grandparents, especially my grandfathers. So for me, they're always kind of an enigma in my mind. I wrote this poem imagining a pretend conversation with a predecessor, an elder, someone who I'm a part of, who's maybe helped make me, but that I never got to meet. So it's a two-parter. So it's Elder and Youth Trade Bars. Part one is Elder. You are like a weed instead of a tree. You are scattered everywhere. You're unfocused. You are separated from the roots of family, when family is unbreakable, joined by the same soil that feeds all. But you are a wild seed that drifts far away, far with no intention to ever return. You have turned your back on all that I hold sacred. You refuse to bow your head in church. You refuse to shape your fingers in the form of a cross. How dare you never say amen? You even got married in an unsanctioned ceremony, far from the eyes of God. What shame! What became of our rich line of men? Men in my days never had long hair, nor did they cook or help around the house. Men were tough, and they never talked about feelings, emotions, sadness, agony. After all, that's what the bottle is for. Tears drown best in tequila and beer than out in the air for everyone to hear. And they didn't write poems either. Maybe sones or versos. But the fact that you go around tattling to the world our business is enough for me to be revived like Jesus Christ, so that I can come down from the realm of the dead and into the living and give you a beating that will echo for eternities. Men are to be tough and tough only, to endure hunger, to work outside all day, and to be taken care of, but you were raised to do none of those things. Don't worry, there's a part two. This is the youth. This is where I get to respond. I'm not young anymore, but you get the idea. Hello, Elder. This is one of your descendants that you never got to meet. I call you from a special payphone that connects the living with the dead and will be leaving you a very long message. You always interested and terrified me. From all those photos you left behind, I can see that you were a real man. Tough, buff, horseback riding, machete wielding man and didn't tolerate any nonsense. So tough that he kept his kids in line, yet some of them moved away from you the first chance they got. Yes, it's true. I have a man bun, and I help my wife with dishes, cooking, cleaning, laundry, baking. Worst of all, I express my emotions from time to time by writing them all down on paper or even a computer. Don't worry about what a computer is. And I send them out for the whole world to read so that everyone can know how I feel and what I've experienced. I am sorry I'm not as tough as you, that I don't know how to bottle up my emotions and suppress them within a liquor bottle, pouring shots instead of tears. Forgive me for my immoral ways, for never wanting to step inside a church like you would have wanted me to. Hell, if you knew what they did in those places, you would have never sent your kids in there in the first place. Oh, elder, maker of me, man I am named after, but I've never met. I grew up with this image of you, this desire to meet you, and some days I even dream of our reunion, wishing to hear those old stories, dreaming of the conversations that we would have had. I see all the men that you have made in your image, the examples that you expect for me to follow. But I cannot be those men, and I do not wish to bring back those times. This last one, I also teach political science. So this last one is all about just something that I feel like I have to say, and it has no title. So I'm just gonna say it. You can cancel me afterwards, I don't give a Untitled. We live under the rule of a bunch of liars who tell us to drink from wells of contaminated lead while they drink from bottled water. They promise peace while getting armed to the teeth for war, exporting death in one way or another. Lies are not enough for them because they must alter reality too. For every book that goes against their one-sided way of thinking, they feel the need to burn, blur, and rewrite the histories. It is not enough to make people forget the chains, killing fields and camps and roundups, rebranding the ugliest chapters of the past as normal, positive, necessary in the building of a so-called great nation. And see, they do this all while purging experts, artists, thinkers, anyone with fancy degrees and the ability to think for themselves is questioned, insulted, ignored, because what interest do the power-hungry and the greedy have in giving us anything good? Clean air, schools, a right to live. I truly think that those in power are threatened by those that know more than them. That's why the creatives are always the first to go. They prefer brainless robots who have too much power yet little empathy. Stupid little worker ants. How else do they get away with rounding up people, separating families, sending them away forever? How else have they been able to wage these useless wars? It takes a special combo of cruelty and stupidity to commit heinous acts, and those people love that combination. In fact, they swim in it. And after they have taken over and remade everything in their image, those power-hungry roaches always need someone to blame. Homeless, immigrants, refugees, Mexicans, student protesters, teachers, young people, drag queens, non-Christians, non-whites, and many more to blame for the downfall of their so-called mighty empire built on greed and lies, an enemy list that just continues to rotate, another excuse they can feed to the poor and uneducated of West Virginia who they promise unlimited wealth and greatness, broken table dancer promises where the next customer waits for something that will never happen. Be wary of those who use these tactics. those who only know how to rule through lies. See, domination is dangerous, it's delusional. They regard the world as disposable, transactional, but we are not disposable and we are not transactional. Thank you.
My next piece. My next piece is a story called I-5, and it's a supernatural mystery that I wrote because I like crime mystery stuff. Late one night, a 911 call comes in, reporting a woman dangerously swerving down I-5 highway in a gray Honda Civic, nearly colliding with a semi. The dispatcher sent Officer Kane, who moments later found the car on the side of the highway with its hazard lights on. When he approached the driver's side, the woman behind the wheel sat still, smiling faintly, her eyes wide open. She didn't acknowledge the officer's flashlight or his voice until he opened the door and her head turned slowly toward him. She didn't say a word, but handed him her ID. Her license identifies her as Anna Silva, but when Officer Kane runs her name, his scream chilled him to the bone. Anna had been declared legally dead 5 years prior from a car crash on the exact same highway where her Honda Civic had been totaled. Her body burned and deceased, but yet here she was, breathing, moving, and sitting behind the wheel of a car that was supposed to have been crushed. Still, Anna is brought into the station for questioning. She doesn't speak or resist. Officers looked through the 911 system and discovered that the call that had led to her traffic stop today had no number, no signal, no origin, or even a timestamp. And even more disturbing, an identical call with the same exact words had been logged 5 years ago, moments before Anna's crash. When deputies visited her mother, Judy, to make sense of it all, she nearly collapsed. Holding back tears, she said, "I buried Anna 5 years ago." The next morning, dispatchers reported something strange. Officer Kane's radio kept playing an incoming 911 call from the night before. The call was Anna's number, a number disconnected since her death. On the audio, she was whispering, "They buried the wrong part of me. I was never dead." Some say Anna's spirit or ghost never left. Others say something else is wearing her skin. So if you ever see yourself driving down I-5 highway, don't pull over, and no matter what, don't answer your phone, because if you do, you might hear your own voice reporting Anna just moments before your death.
All right, this is my last piece. This is just basically descriptive scenery. Night has just arrived. The stars are beginning to pierce through the darkening sky. The outside looks cool and breezy as the train moves through it with a slight sway. The train is the loudest sound of the night, yet still quiet enough for people to settle in their seats. You hear the stillness break as people shift around. You glance at the aisles to see headphones and blankets. Staring outside, the trees are tall and short, grass mowed and wild. There are houses and maybe even small buildings. It's hard to tell as the darkness seeps in. And then night takes over.
My next piece is called One Love, Pass It Around. It is dedicated to Isang Mahal Arts Collective, a Filipino-American arts collective I was very involved in my young adulthood. 3 decades in the making, with roots of shared passion for the arts. The universe aligned the stars for us to converge together there on 7th and Jackson, further and beyond state and country lines. 1/4 and half sheet flyers printed on vellum with timeless photos of common folk in the diaspora, ancestors honored. Open mics with featured performers, a house band, live art, galleries of street art, homemade chapbooks and burned CDs, Rebirth of Soul, Asian Avenue Plugged In, Volume 3. DJs, dancers, and those down with the cause, connections and collaborations with communities having shared similar experiences. Microphone check, 1 2 1 2, dropping beats between acts, dropping gems to multiple generations. A saxophone accompanied words spoken so eloquently. Spitting rhymes and lyrics hard hitting. Mic drop, 3 4 3 4. Dances debuted on a wooden stage floor. Weeknight shows guided by our stage manager extraordinaire. Breaking bread, summits, workshops. Bonds built, some broken and some repaired. Time passes, people evolve, families grow, lives celebrated. Ikalat Muna, pass it around, passing those arts genes, and the rhythm beats on and on and on. This is what community looks like. Isang Mahal.
The Inn of the Last Home. I see foxfire dance at the periphery. Artemis hunting in the sky, full of transient yearnings, fringed by the last red howl of the day. I sense the invisible sentinel, wing downbeat to glide an octave within a glassy stillness. Such an echo of frog songs lasts, breaking into silence. I hear embers of yesternight hiss against the heavy caress of dusk, crackle in conversation past, and collapse into ash. I smell layers of history, written in a decomposing, dense brown black, framed in familiar birch bark, while a microcosm toils today into a musty archive. I taste sweet blue baubles bursting, steps savored from the dusty trail, hand-picked leaves for the terminal tea. I feel the cathedral reach in spiral ascension towards that luminous pearl. Exhale, refreshment, pattering tranquility on this shingled shed. This concludes our program for the 31st anniversary of the Young Writers Workshop. As you exit, please take note and appreciate some of the visual art that our students and staff have produced as part of the workshop series, particularly the collaborative acrylic painting that we completed this week. Please take everything with you. Anything left behind will be sold off to the highest bidder on eBay. Thank you and good night.